the thing that annoys you the most about capitalism? Oh my God.
There's a long list. The only people that really benefit are the top 0.003%.
It's very simple. It's just way too imbalanced. There's no way you need to have all that damn money and people out here and can't eat.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he actually resonates with the people that can't eat. He definitely understands the lifestyle. Not to mention, it's kind of funny. America in 2026, as far as I know, doesn't have many cases of malnutrition. It has an obesity epidemic. Like, even the poor are obese. And I know, like, it's modern time, like, they put stuff in the food that it's making people fat. But it's not making people starving, is it? Right? So if you want to criticize capitalism, this whole thing, it's like, oh, there's people that can't eat. That's maybe something your grandma would have said. And maybe your grandma would have actually lived in times where it was possible that you couldn't eat. But in the modern era, I do believe that even homeless people do not have the problem of not eating. Anyway, right, this is why they have welfare, right? And food stamps and other things. Still, regardless, America is not even a capitalist system, right? It's not laissez-faire capitalism. It's a mixed economy. Officially, the government says it's a mixed economy. The question is, though, like, why are Hollywood actors behaving this way? Like, Japanese actors do not behave this way, right? Like, why is it in particular that in America, Hollywood actors, almost every single one of them, right, is pro-Marxist? Well, there's several reasons. First of all, Marxism is part of a luxurious belief, right? Like, it's what connects the actor class. And so if you're not a Marxist, if you go around and you start preaching truth bombs like your Prager University, you don't get summoned for movies anymore. Like, other people go like, well, I don't want to associate myself with that guy. In reality, however, probably a lot of these actors are absolutely seething because they're being taxed, right? And so many of them may even be leftists sincerely on social issues. But on right-wing issues, they're absolutely livid because they're getting taxed. No one likes getting taxed, right? But they have to speak the speech. Like, if you want to join the Catholic Church, you have to become a Catholic and talk about God. If you want to join Hollywood, you have to become a Marxist and talk about social issues and anti-capitalism. And so this is why they say these things, is because if they don't say these things, they get punished. Like Hollywood constantly talks about censorship and they talk about freedom of expression. Bullshit! There is no freedom of expression. Like, freedom of expression is if you take 100 people and you put them in a room, you have 100 different opinions, right? But in Hollywood, everybody has the exact same fucking opinion, and so it's a little bit sus. Now, there is another problem. You have the education as well as the peer pressure, right? Like, if you look at arts programs and the entertainment industry, they're absolutely dominated by left-wing views. Why? Because left-wing people are extremely bigoted. Like, they will not promote, they will not hire, they will not recommend someone that's not left-wing. And so you end up in a situation where many of these actors is generally what they know. Some of them may not even think it that much. Like, a lot of time may actually not spend ruminating about capitalism and economies. Like, do you think these people have read Karl Marx? Like, let's be honest, this is kind of the thing where back in the day you had, like, certain actors and Hollywood people that weren't Christians at all. Or maybe they were Christians in name only, right? But they didn't go to church. They didn't actually practice Christianity. They didn't fast. They didn't do any of those things. But when asked, right, on the red carpet, of course, right, they would be like, yeah, I take my wife to church every Sunday. Because like, you say the thing that needs to be said, right? This is what's expected of you. You don't become the guy that's against the grain. And if you grow up in a Christian world, well, even if you're not a Christian, even if you're not practicing, you still, like, have to pick up a couple of things, right? And it's the same thing here. If you grow up in a far left world and Marxism is all you know, you gotta pick up a couple of sayings, a couple of slogans so that you look like you belong. And then it's possible that many of them, like, sincerely believe it, right? We always assume that, well, people actually know, but in reality, no, it's quite possible that many of them You know, they didn't give it a lot of thought. They don't have time to listen to any type of commentator, and they genuinely believe that the reason America is poor is because people are greedy. Now, you may say, well, hold on a little bit. Like, these chuckleheads, they have net worth of $4 billion. How can we say that they're poor? It's like, well, yeah, but they don't view themselves as that, right? Like, every single person, like, we believe that if you were to have $4 million net worth, you think you're rich. No, if you have a $4 million net worth, you compare yourself with Bezos, you buy yourself a large manor, and maybe a couple of businesses, and those hemorrhage money. And at the end of the day, in your pocket, you may not be actually as wealthy as you think. Now, you're still surrounded by amenities that other people can't even dream of. You're invited to parties that normal mortals cannot penetrate. Anyway, right? But, despite all that, you may still not have enough cash to afford everything you want. And so, like, you're considering yourself to be oppressed. Especially after you're paying your taxes, especially after, you know, like, you're looking at how much cash you have, and you have the anxiety between productions. Like, you just finished a film, right? And now you need to look at how you get the next gig, because you're not being paid by the month, right? After the production is gone, you're paid by the contract. And so, yes, like, they might unironically view themselves as poor. I mean, they probably don't view themselves as, like, beggar-level poor, but they view themselves as struggling. And they blame capitalism. I know it sounds retarded, but it's how human nature works, right? Like, every single person views themselves as the main character of their own story, as the center of the universe. Everything that affects them is probably objective reality. And so, from their perspective, if they're not as rich as Bezos, or there's still people on top of them, they think that the communist revolution is going to tax those people, is going to go against those people. When in reality, what's actually happening is that the moment their studios get taxed too high, they get paid less. Right? Like, all of the money that the studios have to spend on taxes and production and other things like that, they start getting paid less and less. The inflation affects them a lot more than what the studio pays. But this is what it is, you know? And so, it's not necessarily that all of them are slimy people, right? Like, some of them may genuinely believe the shit they're saying. Some of them may be sincere. Others may say them because they don't really care and they haven't thought about it that much. I think I could be a little bit sneaky and please the audience as well as my actor class. And I would say something, especially if you deliver it with charm. I would say, look, I can't really judge capitalism given the fact that I work for an American corporation. So I'm not the one to speak, but maybe you should ask someone else. If you say it like that, I guarantee to you, like, that actor would actually get a lot of points with the audience. And he's not being controversial enough in order to get their social media on fire. Like, even leftists would say, yeah, like, finally one actor that speaks the truth. And so, you gotta be smart, right? Like, you need to present your brand properly. But I think a lot of them may genuinely not have thought about it. And others may actually be clueless. Like, a lot of actors generally do not know what the common people think because they surround themselves by rich people, and they usually believe that right-wingers are just a minority, you know, they're just a fringe voice, they're bigots, they're racist, they're not going to be here for long because history moves towards progress. While others may genuinely be afraid, right? Like, they may actually think if I say something out of line, I may not get the next contract for the next film. Like, you need to understand, right? Like, the actor is not servicing you directly, right? Like, you're not in a contract with the actor, so they don't care how you view about them or how you feel about the movie. What they care is the actual people hiring them, which is the studio, right? And so, like, the studio, they reward Marxist speech, and because the studio rewards Marxist speech, they care more about what the studio thinks of them than what the public thinks of them. Anyway, right, let me know what you guys think. And as usual, I'll see you in the comment section. Take care.